Hey, you! Leave your axe at the door.
I was quite famous in my day. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Hey, you! Leave your axe at the door. Oh, goody. Adventurers.
Mogul, I made a map of the city. Here's me beating up Dane Firehand, and there's the sun, and it's happy 'cause he's dead.
Why would the sun be happy, Grimdar? Never mind. That's not even a map.
I don't know how to make maps. Do I have to bink or bonk?
No, you have to ink. Carnet.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Incarnate.com is a web-based map-making tool.
Web? Like Loth?
No, Grimdar. Interweb.
Oh, like two webs.
No, Grimdar, let me finish my bit. Bring your fantasy worlds to life in stunning detail. Go to incarnate.com and sign up today. Don't be like Grimdar.
Oh. Bink bink.
Look who it is. Oh, please, regale me with your tales.
Bran, look! I found gems for games. Oh, no. Dice. Tarhan said dice. Do you want to play?
Grimdar, what are you doing? You've thrown them everywhere.
Oh, I keep dropping them. I need something to help me roll.
Grimdar, what you need is a scroll rolling tray from Elderwood Academy. Mage Hand. The scroll rolling tray comes in 7 different colors of leather and 13 different unique image designs in 10 different foil colors.
Oh, is that magic? I can do magic.
You can also choose from 2 different wood colors and 6 different flourishes.
Bran, I broke my dice. They're small now.
Grimdar, how?
Help me.
Go to elderwoodacademy.com to purchase scroll rolling trays, dice towers, dice boxes, and more.
Take me with you. I can still swing a sword.
If you're looking for easy money, I'm your guy. It's a simple job. Let me know if you're interested.
Hey, you! Leave your axe at the door.
Tarhan! Tarhan! Help me! I broke my friends!
Grimdar, you did what?
I shrunk Bran and Isharad!
Oh god, Grimdar, no. Those aren't.
I'm so sorry, Tarhan. I messed up bad this time.
Grimdar, these are miniatures. For games.
Bran is a miniature?
No, Grimdar. These are tabletop figures from Eldritch Foundry.
Table top?
Yes, Grimdar, for games. You can go to Eldritch Foundry and fully customize your own miniature and have it printed in high-quality seamless plastic.
Printed in plastic?
It's magic, Grimdar. Magic.
Oh. Oh!
Grimdar, why are you staring at me like that?
Oh! Go to bit.ly/notgreatmini to get your own incredible customized miniature from Eldritch Foundry.
Oh, please, regale me with your tales. Bids are common and no magic.
Look, Tarhan, I found some gems. Now I can pay Bran back.
Grimdar, my good man, those aren't gems. Those are dice. They're for games.
Games? Like wildebeests? In the grasslands?
No, Grimdar, like Dungeons and Dragons.
Do I need dice to play? Your dice are nice. Can I have yours?
No, Grimdar, you can go to diceenvy.com to buy your own cool set.
Is that another website? Mago was telling me about 2 webs.
Yeah, Grimdar, and you can use promo code NGDC to get 10% off.
Hey, you! Leave your axe at the door.
was quite famous in my day. Perhaps you've heard of me.
All tucked in, Amalith. Where were we? Ah, of course. Our adventure begins how any good story does. A long time ago, in a not so far away land, the gods sought to make beings in their image, and molded the clay, soil, and stone of the world, and the 7 races drew their first breath. The gods sat atop their mountain, carefully watching over the world they created. The more gifts the gods bestowed, the angrier people became. For you see, not every gift is a blessing, not all were as they seemed, and not all were well received. An allegiance sworn, and all races marched side by side to the base of the mountain at war with their creators. Valiantly they fought, and though many fell, the luckiest of them survived despite insurmountable odds. The gods, betrayed by their own creations, abandoned their material forms. The world rejoiced in honor of their heroes, casting their crusade in eternal tome, and that, once wielded, lay now beside their stone. Peace, and all good things that come with it, settled into rest. But tranquility grew restless, and harmony soon withered. Oh, I've dropped my glasses. Hold on, dear. Xanthinus, the city of knowledge, sacked, and all the pages held within reduced to ash. A land, once blessed with peace, now shrouded in the darkness of war once more. Brothers, whose ancestors once marched unified, now divided across the fields of battle. Adoris, forever changed. Families shattered. What was once knowledge became legend. History reformed as bedtime stories from cane to cradle. The world began to heal. Peace and happiness returned to Adoris. A great treaty, signed by the leaders of the lands, in the dead of winter, the 5th of Nightall. Life prospered and bloomed, a reflection of a better world, one less tarnished by weakness. Adoris now drifts astray as temptation pulls at the hearts of men. Champions like those of old are needed again. Who, I wonder, will next make their mark? What was I saying? The old world, adventures of our ancestors, forever lost as ash on the wind, now revered only in legend from broken memory. Tales for weary heads beneath the twinkling stars and smiling moon. A new day approaches, and that history is yet to be written. I wonder what those pages might say about you. Good night, my dear.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another evening of D&D. We are Not Great RPG, and we are here once again for the Lost Kings of Adoris. We're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, then I'll do a brief recap, and we'll pick up where we left off last week.
On the morning playlist, I see.
Yes.
Good.
Is it morning?
No, it's middle of the
I think
night.
it's sentimental.
Oh, it's sentimental.
Sentimental.
They're so similar.
That sounds like beautiful morning playlist. I love it.
Yeah, Volpix, thank you very much for the $20 donation and the gifted sub to John. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I am John, and I play Marcus.
I'm Sarah, and I play Dandelion.
I'm Paul, and I play Rin.
I'm Autumn, and I play Twig.
I'm Mike, and I play Mr. Pigeon.
I'm not Lawrence. I play Shay.
And I'm Don, the DM of this campaign. Monkey. You got a monkey in the chat, thank you. Listen, he is a people. Last week's episode, A Fractured Mask. You guys smash your ways through the door of the gambling hall with Marcus Small and Sheila's Warhammer. Sheila winks, and the tattooed eyes on the back of her hand glow with holy light, and as she slams the ground, a wave of holy energy washes over you guys, healing you. She tells you guys that she and her men will handle the bandits, and that you two should get after the two guys running at the back, the figures of Will and a figure wearing a gilded mask that ducked behind a curtain at the back of the room. You guys rush forward as Sheila and her men rush up the stairs on the side to fight the bandits. You make your way past the curtain and come to a large double set of doors and throw them open, and are met with two 7-foot-tall humans wrapped in chainmail, shields and swords at the ready, the Beef Brothers, as we fondly refer to them. Is Meat Castle or Meat Mountain?
No, Meat Castle and
Beef Brother.
Beef Brother.
No, those were the two. Blocking you so that way you can't get through the door. Rin, Marcus, and Dandelion fight the two large beef boys, sliding out of the way of their blades and slamming attacks into them whenever they see an opening in their defenses. Shay, Mr. Pigeon, and Twig fight the four men at the back of the room, jumping across gaps between gambling tables and roulette wheels. As you guys fight, you guys watch as Will and the masked figure, revealed to be Alistair Plimfair, fight in the room beyond the large men guarding the door. They yell at each other, which I'm not going to read the entire conversation, but the gist of it is that, Alistair is here against his will. Will says the same, that he will not...
Against his what?
Against his William.
Don't hold me that.
Deep down, you know this is wrong.
The sexual tension was really present.
They talk about how they both do this for their families, and Will lets Alistair go. Alistair goes to leave. A cloaked figure drops from the back of the wall and rushes towards him with a shadowy spectral dagger outstretched from the top of his hand. Will yells, pushes Alistair out of the way, takes the dagger in his place, and falls to the ground as he shoves Alistair towards the door. You guys defeat the two beef boys, along with the 4 Gilded Mask bandits behind you. The other beef boy surrenders, blinks at Rin a whole bunch as he runs past. You guys rush in to fight against this shadowy assassin. The assassin fades into the darkness, dips back to a sconce on the wall, puts the torch out, and sends a shadowy wave of daggers out towards you. Shay and Dandelion manage to dodge some of the daggers as they dip through the storm, flanked by Twig and Rin, who dodge through the blades and send them back into the walls on the side. Marcus rushes to Will's side, drags him to the corner, and attempts to heal him, seeing that the wound is fatal. Will stops him and asks for him to please not heal him, that he does not deserve forgiveness for what he's done, and he asks if Val is okay. Marcus tells him yes, that he is alive, and he hopes that someday he will atone for his crimes through a higher power than he, that he sees his sister and his friend again. Marcus then takes his dagger and stabs Will in the heart and watches as the light leaves his eyes. The battle continues.
Thing,
yeah, it's your favorite thing.
Even when I play good characters.
Justice. The battle continues. Dandelion, shielded by Marcus, casts her sleep spell, putting Marcus and the assassin to sleep. Marcus rushes out of the room to find Alistair as the others secure the assassin. Marcus retrieves Alistair from a nearby room, who surrenders to him while trying to protect a young girl, which is revealed to be the missing Alice Tull. That Alistair says that he is kept safe this time. Marcus thanks him for protecting her for so long and says that he will need to tell Sheila what he knows and hopes that it is enough to atone for what he's done, given some leeway due to his family being threatened. Marcus hopes to take him back to Lake Mount to reunite him with his family and Alice with her family. The others wake up the assassin with Mr. Pigeon's sickles around his neck after Shay inspects him to make sure he is unarmed and has no way of escape. He awakens and the party speaks to him about his goals here and why he had to kill Alistair. He indicates to Shay that Alistair had attempted to escape and thus needed to be taken out. You guys speak briefly about his dealings with Fevril Blackflower, and he sees a flicker of recognition in Shay's eyes. The two speak, and Shay asks how he came into service of the Blackflowers. The assassin states plainly, "How does anyone with my skill set come into their service?" He continues to give taunting non-answers to questions that Shay asks, before laughing and stating that the grip of the Blackflowers extends far beyond these kingdoms and this city, and that both of these human kingdoms will fall to their control, and that all will know the name Fevril Blackflower. At this point, Shay nods to Mr. Pigeon, and as he goes to cut the man's throat, Rin slaps the blades away, telling them to keep him alive. Dandelion speaks briefly with Sheila about what's happened. Sheila heals her, and then walks back into the room. Everybody debates on what to do with the assassin, and Shay indicates that the man will only be a danger to her city, and that he cannot be trusted to be contained. Sheila walks up to the man and condemns him for his crimes against the city, stabbing him in the heart. As he dies, he laughs and his skin fades to a mottled gray, his eyes a milky white, and all of the markings and tattoos vanishing from his body. The cloak fades to a light gray color and sags around his corpse. Rin removes the badge from his pocket, throws it at Sheila, and says, "Fuck your watch." Before storming off, Sheila follows after him and says that she's sorry, but she had to do it to protect her people. Rin asks if she has killed before in the war when they took prisoners. Sheila said no, she's not killed another prisoner before, but none have been so dangerous as this man, and Rin says it only takes one, turning and walking through the red curtain at the back of the hall, and that is where we are picking up this week.
Cool. So I've walked through with Alistair and Alice successfully?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, so as you walk through the door, you see the slightly different figure of this assassin lying on the ground, looking this mottled gray color. You see Rin walking through the curtain at the back of the room, and Sheila turning to walk back towards the group. You see everybody standing there.
Well, what happened with Rin?
He did not like the decision to end this one's life.
All right. I do not know who did it.
I did. Sheila.
Oh.
At Shay's recommendation, he mentioned that this man was a danger to my city, and I do not wish to put any more of my people at risk.
Understood. That's within your right to sentence.
Yes.
I am sorry, though. It's never an easy burden to bear.
No, but if the burden of a lawkeeper is to take the life of one man to protect the lives of others, then I will do it with honor.
As you should. In the realm of sentencing. Oh, there you go, Don. Damn. Woo! Giving me the vapors over here, buddy. I gotta go. I can never play this game again. You can try to put my bottom back in for me, please.
Just clap it in there.
Well, my immersion is broken. And not because of the candles.
Also not because of the
yes, in the realm of sentencing, though, unfortunately, I do have to, once again, work with you, I suppose I could say, in terms of some kind of arrangement to be made on the behalf of this man, Alistair Plimfair. A criminal here inside of the Gilded Mask, but one who worked only under coercion and blackmail at threat of his family's life.
We'll need to question him in the morning. It is too late now to do that, but
Yes.
should his answers prove sufficient to pay his debts to the city, I will release him into your stead as I did Murdoch.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I have exhausted myself of manacles. He is unarmed, but I leave that decision in yours.
I have plenty.
Very good.
She pulls a set of shackles from her side
Yeah,
and walks over and...
Yeah, I would just kind of like, as she does it, put a hand on Alistair and just... everything as of tomorrow will be alright, I hope.
I understand. He willingly puts his hands forward to meet her shackles.
I would gesture towards Alice. This girl is a prisoner and someone that we knew was kidnapped from the town of Lake Mountain. Part of the reason why we came to your city in the first place, and is not remotely actually involved in the criminal activity of the Gilded Mask.
I did not expect the child would be. I will feed her and keep her safe for the evening. If you mean to take her back to Lake Mount, you can take her when you leave with Alistair.
Thank you.
Of course.
I must be honest with you. There is one more that I would like to take with me. He is not here.
All right.
He
Who?
is a young man that we took from the docks. He is Will Bennett's son. I believe that he also should be questioned. It did not seem as though he was a very willing participant in this. Simply a son following the command of his father. But he is never killed. Nor do I think he will.
All right.
But I think that his questions, well, his answers should serve as light for his sentencing.
Where is this boy now?
He is on the ship that we brought in at the docks. Murdoch is watching him. We'll gather him and bring him over to your offices if that is acceptable.
If you'd like, my men will retrieve him. If that's easier, you all deserve some rest.
Yes, certainly. Thank you.
Of course.
The other two that are on board that Murdoch is watching, Steinem and Erling, are in the process of atoning as well. They willingly surrendered. I think that they should be also brought back, and that all the decisions for your city be made in light of their testimonies and sentencings delivered then at your discretion.
All right.
Thank you.
Of course. Put them to work doing repairs for the damage that's happened due to the Gilded Mask.
Yes.
Say that's punishment if they're truly not evil men.
No, they did not seem it, but I would very much like for them to have the chance to earn their freedom back.
Of course.
It did not seem as though this was a decision that they made. It is hard to say that pride for one's people can ever make a decision feel justified, but I believe that they made the decisions in that light, and not out of an interest or purview that drives them towards crime.
All right. I understand those motivations. I would not ask them to leave themselves in indentured servitude, but...
Thank you.
To pay their debts, to earn their freedom.
Thank you.
Of course.
I do not know if any of you are hungry, but I am very tired.
I would like to see this body taken care of myself.
Certainly. Are you hungry, Dandelion?
I'm pretty hungry. It's been a while since we've eaten.
Mr. Pigeon? Or do you...
Nod. I muted it.
Hungry?
Did we search the body in
I'm
last
working on
episode?
that.
Okay, I was gonna say I would be interested in searching the body as well.
You can stay with Jay. It will be good to make sure that he's safe.
Could use the extra set of hands for sure.
Sure, I would nod.
Twig, it is up to you if you would always like to stay by Mr. Pigeon's side.
I think I'll stay. Yeah.
Well, I forget the name of the tavern we were at, but...
The Topaz Flask.
That's right, because you described the
Which is yellow and not purple.
That's right.
The amethyst flask.
Before you leave, there is the matter of payment. There was a substantial amount of gold found by my men, and I'd like to give you all a portion of it.
We can do that in the morning.
All right, I sent someone after young Master Rin with his share. You're welcome to take yours now if you'd like, or I can hold it till the morning. That is up to you.
Oh, if Rin's share is taken care of, then certainly. Thank you.
All right, she... Two men walk over with a chest and set it down in front of you, flip it open, pull out bags and start divvying out gold into these leather-bound bags and sealing them and hand them to each one of you. You all receive 400 gold.
Fuck yes. Delicious dollars.
Ducats.
Three of you are going to stay behind and assist me with cleaning up then? Somewhat anyway.
At least this one.
All right, sure. Then the two of you better get some rest. I'll send someone ahead to the Topaz Flask and have the owner aware that you're coming and that your rooms will be on us.
Thank you.
Of course. Order whatever you'd like.
Thank you very much, Sheila.
You're welcome. Thank you again for everything.
Yes, it is, as you said, a thing to do with honor for your city.
Yes. I'm very happy that despite the time that it took for something to happen, I've finally been able to make a change. And with your help, we've at least started to rid this city of crime.
Yes, we have. Yeah, I'm gonna go walk over and pick up my maul.
All right.
Yeah, as I am walking around, I would just want to make sure like I get some kind of decent look at this newly weird looking body.
Yep.
You said it's like molded gray skins. And...
Like mottled gray skin, milky white eyes, and the cloak is a slightly different color than it was before.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would grab my maul and collect dandelion and head over to the
Topaz Flask.
Topaz Flask. I was going to say amethyst again. So it's like, he said it's purple. And my brain just has to process purple.
The more times we say it, the
more purple it is.
more purple it is.
It's amethyst.
Yeah, no, I would just go over. It was a very fine trick you did. I was a big fan. I needed a nap anyway.
I don't think it was a very restful nap.
No, not remotely. I fell on my face into stone. Thank God I'm not dying. But I really like the way you were thinking. It was a good idea to try to put him into a state in which we were able to ask him questions. And even if it comes at my safety, I think that that's the right thing to do sometimes. And know that you have my unwavering faith and approval.
You're saying that. You keep going back and forth. My
Yeah.
I was in danger, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was in danger.
I was really in danger and I could have died, but it's all right because I trust you. Yeah. And then I would lead you out.
Very good. Yeah, the two of you walk through the curtain and up the stairs into the night and towards the Topaz Flask.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll summon you back shortly.
Very good.
I like the nuance of that. It was really great because it was super sus.
I'm into that shit, dude. That was the most dangerous thing I've ever seen you do. I like it. Do that again. Oh my God.
Paul. Through the secret wall.
Alright, so yeah, the three of you are here with Sheila.
So I would still be searching the body.
Yep. Please make an investigation check with advantage.
So 21.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're going through this cloak, I'll describe the things that you see on the cloak itself first. So you see that the inside of the cloak, around the middle portion, has contact points with small buttons that look to be the exact same color as the fabric to kind of mask the fact that they're there. And you can see that there are small bits of hooks on the fabric made out of fabric so that the length of the cloak can be adjusted and changed for the size. There are some that are towards the back to make it smaller. There are some to make it longer or shorter to basically alter the shape of how much fabric is flowing through this cloak. You also see, as you're feeling around the collar, that there is a pattern sewn into the back of the collar under the collar that looks to be a dark gray crown that is sewn into the back of this fabric. You also find several pockets that are near invisible in the cloak itself that have to essentially be pried to open, that they're meant to flow with the cloak, so that way they're pretty much undetectable. And in one of them, you find a coil of iron wire wrapped between two leather-bound brass tubes. It looks to be very cleaned and well kept, but it does look old and used. But you can see that the tips of the brass have been polished. And the leather has been treated and well kept. In another one, you find a sharp silvered metal blade, slightly smaller than a dagger, fixed to the edge of a 10-foot silk rope. The metal blade also appears polished. The silver is very clean. The iron on the metal portion is definitely slightly clouded from use. But the silver edges are immaculately polished, and for the age, it's about as polished as really it could be. It's well kept. In another pocket further down towards the bottom, you find a large copper tube with a bit of rope that seems to have some give to it, that as you kind of tug at it, it expands slightly to become a 25-foot silk rope coming out of the bottom of this brass tube. You can see that there are ridges on the side, and you see at the center a small, worn, circular spot that appears as though it's been pressed before. You find a sheathed, serrated dagger that also is extraordinarily well kept and polished. Each of the teeth of the serrated edge has been sharpened clearly. It's kept in immaculate condition, and it is sealed and wrapped in a sheath. You find a set of thieves' tools, a leather belt that is coiled around the length of the entire cloak to kind of cinch it shut. You find a gilded mask that looks identical to the one that Alistair was wearing in another pocket that's kind of flattened out and can be turned in on the edges to shape around the face. In a pocket towards the back, you find a cloth, some polishing fluid in a corked vial, which is like a black, almost diluted ink color. And you find a silver necklace with a small clasp. If you'd like to look inside, you can. Or if you'd like to do that later, that's also fine. Like
I'll look at it quickly.
Yep. So you see a picture of a faceless woman holding a child that looks similar to a younger version of the now dead figure in front of you. This faceless woman looks to be of the same as this person, but faceless. In another pocket, you find a bundle wrapped in twine and bundled in silk. And as you open it, you find 6 vials of various poisons, 2 of each. A deep red blood color, which is assassin's blood. 2 that have a thick, bright green sludge, which is crawler mucus. And a shimmery clear liquid, which is essence of ether. Ether, not ether.
Essence of ether.
Essence of ether.
Extracted by John himself.
Yes, of course.
Before talent.
Yeah. And I'll copy all of this and post it in Discord too.
Yep.
You also find scrolled, folded in the sides of or unscrolled, folded in the sides of one of the pockets, dossiers of Alistair, Will, Sheila, and several other generic shop owners and dock workers. Height, build, weight, age, all that stuff, along with some identifying information about each of them.
Sure.
You also find one for a man labeled the Overseer.
Okay.
And inside of the back pocket, you find an older scrolled document that looks to have been resealed with wax. That's what you find in the cloak. As you're flipping through and looking at the rest of the body, you find at the back of the boots, you flip out 2 very small daggers with a piece of rubber that fits into the back of the boot to fit in between the fingers that are just kind of sunken into the back of the boots, near invisible to the eye.
Sure.
And that is what you find on the body.
I would try to not show this or the dossiers as I'm finding them.
Okay.
I would try to not look suspicious about it. That way, if it was noticed that I was tucking them,
sure,
it wouldn't seem like it was about not showing somebody as much as it was just about, like, putting it away.
Yeah.
But I would, like, not be making a show of pulling those items.
Got it. So if you want to make a sleight of hand check, and if the 2 of you can make perception checks.
Do you want us to make them or just use our passives?
You can use your if you're paying attention to what he's doing, then it would be an active roll. If you're not paying attention,
I'd be paying attention because I was curious.
Yeah, so active for both of you then.
For Sheila as well, because she's in the room.
Yep.
Got an 18.
14.
Roll the 19.
Okay. Sheila does not notice. You had an 18 and you had a 14?
Yep.
Okay, so neither of you notice anything.
The rest of the stuff I would be making sure that, especially that Sheila saw it.
Sure. So you'd at the very least be not so much playing up the actions of pulling out the other stuff, but doing the others with more subtlety to kind of hide your movements.
Yeah, I'd be pulling the other stuff out and making sure that she was aware of what the items were.
Got it.
Effectively trying to demonstrate that she made a good
choice. Sure. That's quite a lot of things on one man.
Definitely an assassin, as I said. I believe it would be wise to not discuss the nature of this particular person.
Understood.
Those that send them, not so fond of people being aware.
I imagine so. What would you recommend I do? And where did you come across knowledge of men such as this?
Do as in about the body?
Yes.
Or...
If we don't want it to be discovered, is there...
I was hoping that Mr. Pigeon would have some makeup that he could at least
mask,
disguise it long enough to move it from this place.
Of course.
And then I intended to burn it.
All right. Seems acceptable.
And I think we can handle that part of things.
As far as where I came across such information, I was previously in the employ of one that used such a creature.
How barbaric and horrible, and
I'm afraid that they are typically broken of their humanity before they are sent out to do such things.
mindless warriors then.
And capable of hiding themselves with the faces of others. Would be very careful with those that you trust. And I would be even more careful with entrusting anyone with this information.
Understood. I'll keep that to myself and subtly bring up to my men to keep their eyes out on, well, the ones I trust anyway, to keep their eyes out for suspicious figures of any kind within the city walls.
Very good.
Where do you plan to dispose of the body so I can keep people away from it?
There's somewhere that would be a safe place to burn this body that would not draw attention.
Probably in the cooking ward of the city, down by the docks on the other side of the city. There's frequently people celebrating and burning foods and things of that nature, and there are some that are not quite so skilled, so I imagine the scent would not be so obvious, nor would the smoke be of any attention draw.
I think with the assistance of my friends here, we can keep the nature of this body from being discovered long enough to get it to a safe place to burn it.
Very good.
I'm sorry about the young master.
It's all right. I understand. I've known a great many people like him. There are those that do not wish to kill under any circumstances, and I respect that.
I do not believe he has been made so aware of the way of the world in such regards.
Yes, being an emissary from wherever, Valinor, I imagine is a bit of a sheltered life in comparison to the horrors out there.
This horror in particular is not one so carelessly spoken of.
Yes, and not one that many know of, I'm sure.
Yes. And they do like to keep it that way.
Understood.
Just a pigeon.
I'll start smearing clown makeup on this guy.
Sure.
Just give him a nice thick coat of clown face.
Twig, would you care for any of these poisons?
I take them.
And I hand her half of
Sure.
one of each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll post the poisons that you have in your Discord chat as well.
Okay.
They're all D&D items, so you can add them.
After I'm done putting on his clown makeup, though, is the other body still in the room?
The big boy?
Will? Yes.
Will. I don't want to actually... Is his mask, like, on?
That's Alistair.
Oh, they didn't both have masks?
No, just Will.
Okay,
just,
I thought
Alistair
they both did. My
Yeah,
bad.
no, just
Gotcha.
Alistair did. And Alistair, you can see, has his fixed to his belt.
Sure.
He's standing there shackled.
Sure.
If you do not mind, I will take care of the belongings that were with this body as well.
Sure.
I understand that normally these sorts of things would end up in your custody, but again, it would be best if they disappeared entirely.
Yes. Understood. Never be too careful. If you'd like to dispose of those bodies, we'll deal with the big one over here, and I'll keep my men out of this room for the time being.
That would be for the best.
Yes.
And make sure the other large one. I do not think he is all there, but if he seems like he would be a talker, he should go away.
I don't think so. From what we've heard so far, I don't think he knows a whole lot about anything.
Tiny.
Yes.
Indeed.
We'll find somewhere for him. I'll drop a few cloaks through the curtain in a moment for you to disguise the bodies. That way you can move out. But I'll keep my men out of here for now.
Very good.
When you're completed, just get them out of here and we'll finish cleanup with the rest of the hall.
Understood.
We'll be questioning Alistair and anyone else in the morning. And please enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you all tomorrow.
We'll see you then.
Thank you again for all that you've done for this city. I truly cannot thank you enough.
Curtsy.
Thank you for your silence on this matter.
I understand that silence is sometimes the best policy on things that others need not trouble their minds with.
I pray that you never truly understand how imperative this is.
I hope not. Good evening, all. She steps and turns and snaps at the two men who follow her out with the chest with the rest of the gold. Alistair following behind her with his shackles. A few minutes go by and two cloaks get thrown through the curtain and the curtain gets pulled shut.
I'm straight gonna pocket the rest of these items.
Yep, absolutely.
I guess we're dealing with Will's body too then. Is what it
Yes.
sounded like.
Mhm.
So then I guess I will look through Will's clothes and pockets.
Now that we're alone.
Yeah, if I'm dealing with the body anyway.
Yeah.
And while he's doing that, I would pull this back out.
Sure.
Now that she has left.
Yep. Yeah, so you don't find a whole lot on Will's body. He has a small framed picture of Elias, along with a woman that you've not seen. Elias looks to be younger. He looks to be probably about 5. You can.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Find
Hopefully.
Secure.
Making sure it's the right one.
Very secure.
Yeah. But yeah, he has that picture. He's got 5 gold in his pockets. He has the dagger that he has fixed across his chest that Marcus had pulled out is on the ground next to him. He doesn't have a whole lot else.
Sure.
He's pretty bare bones. You can tell that he pretty much rushed out of that room when you guys approached the dock, and does not have a lot on him.
That's fine. I'll take the picture and I guess the 5 gold.
Sure.
And I don't really have a use for the dagger.
Yep.
But I'll slide those up in the sleeves.
Very good.
And I guess start. I guess I'll point, gesture to Shay the clown makeup and point back at Will and kind of shrug.
I suppose he should be burned as well.
Sure, I'll start putting a clown face on him.
Sure. If you do rip that, it is just symbols,
you're
so
fine.
it's I don't want it's not a
Totally
huge
fine.
deal if it gets ripped or anything. Yes, you guys finish preparing the 2 bodies to be taken out and throw the cloaks over them. And then anything else before you guys head out to take the bodies?
I would take a glance at this. You
Sure.
said it's just symbols primarily.
Yeah, it's symbols, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would make sure that they knew that I wasn't trying to hide any of this
Sure.
from them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
say that
I
they're...
would take a look at it too then if you
Sure.
do it openly.
Yeah. So...
But other than that, nothing.
Shay, you definitively recognize this style. The rest of you don't.
Sure.
It doesn't look to be a language that you know.
Just barely missed it.
Perfect.
And I would recognize this.
Yes.
And you'll fill me in.
Sure, so just...
I'll just
Yep.
give you the translation now.
Oh, you didn't seal this one?
I didn't seal that one. No.
That would have been awesome. Just seal
Good luck.
as well. Just take a gander. Looks good.
Yeah,
Does
neither
would the drawing mean anything to any of us?
I'll tell you, it looks like a flower.
Sure.
So
Okay.
you can make whatever connections you'd like with that, but yeah, that looks to be a flower from what you can
Okay.
tell, and it is done in black ink.
Sure. But yeah, after that's done, I mean, that would just help pick up the bodies, I guess.
Sure.
We weakened at Bernie's these bodies.
I was gonna say, when it was only one,
Drunk clowns.
each underarms, and we can walk them through.
There's 3 of us.
Sure, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm not strong. I can carry a body with help, but
Yeah.
depending on how
Between
big
the
they
3 of
are.
us, I think we can get.
Yeah, I think
2 bodies.
you guys should be able to.
I don't know.
I think we can handle it.
I can carry 120 pounds.
I think we can handle it.
Both are not like, they're not like heavy set. They're both pretty wiry.
Okay.
So you guys are good as far as that goes.
I would not read this out loud to them.
Sure.
And I would get it rolled back up.
Yep.
And then get to hefting this body.
Cool.
I don't know how much of that you want to do before we swap.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll have you guys in the process of moving the body down. If you can send Paul in, I'll do his stuff. Then I'll do Marcus and Dandelion, and I'll rotate back to you guys. Sure.
Right on, right on.
And that way you can role play the actual disposal of the body and any conversations you'd like to have.
Yep.
You can go out either way. Other way, the door slides into the wall.
You can only go out the way the door opens.
Cause it's just you and me and Nola. What's up?
Hey.
What's up? Oh man. Oh boy.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's roll an action.
I'm sorry. Say initiative?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, so you rush through the curtain and head up the stairs. As you're walking through the gambling hall, you can see that Sheila's men are moving, collecting bandit bodies. You can see that there are the bodies of 5 guards that have died, along with the 20 bodies of the bandits that have all been killed.
Oh.
Some of which are kind of hanging over the railings as they're just being hauled up and tossed down into a big pile. As they're just cleaning up the gambling hall and removing the bodies and straightening everything up.
As I'm walking through, do I notice any of the guards tending to the injuries of the other guards?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to approach any of them
Sure.
that are doing so by magical means.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you see one that is tracing spells in the air as a wound begins to disappear from one of the other guards.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Would you mind my heel?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. And he looks nasty. Caught yourself on a blade?
Yeah, I'm not looking at it.
Understood. He traces in the air and casts cure wounds or healing something.
I regain hit points?
Healing foot.
Healing foot?
Yeah, let me roll your you regain 10 hit points.
Yeah, I'm definitely fine.
And you see the wound begin to heal. You can see there is a slight scar on the bottom. Well, I guess you wouldn't see it, but so if you're not looking at it, then you wouldn't see anything.
No.
But it does feel better.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It hurt so much.
I understand that. I can't say that I've myself stepped on a blade, but been pierced by one several times. It's never a fun experience.
No, it's not.
No.
Just gonna thank you again.
Of course. Have a wonderful evening. turns. And
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue to walk out of the gambling halls.
Yeah. So you walk up the stairs into the night. Where are you heading? So I have your list, but I'll let you do that in whatever order you'd like.
So, approximately what time is it?
It's pretty late. I will say that for the most part, the businesses are probably closed at this point.
Gotcha.
But you would know the location of both Eudoro and Elias at this point.
They're both at the docks.
Yes.
Or at the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll head there then.
Okay, that's what I expected.
Wait, no, how late is it? Because the king, would he still be awake?
At this point, probably not.
Okay.
It's like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll head to the
it's
docks.
it's probably past his bedtime, or at the very least past the time where anything would be occurring at his shop.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'll head to the docks then.
Cool. So you make your way back, tracing the path that you came to get here, walking through that same building down and across the docks up to the ship, and you see Murdoch sitting on the edge of the ship with just watching the rest of the people in front of him. Evening, Rin, everything all right?
Yes, everything's fine. The halls have been taken.
Good. That's very good.
It is. Mind if I speak with our captive here?
Sure, which one?
Elias.
Sure. In private or?
Yes.
Sure. Captain's quarters.
Thank you.
Elias just stands and walks into the captain's quarters ahead of you.
Yep.
Walk inside, and you see that it's the captain's quarters that you saw before. You pull the door shut, and you can see that there's a large map table along with several sets of chairs. And Elias walks over and sits at one of them, and just kind of crosses his hands and looks at you. Is my father dead?
He is. I'm sorry. We caught the man that did it.
Good.
He fought like someone I've never seen before. Spectral energy came out of his arms.
Oh. Did my father put up a good fight at least?
Yes. Do you know anything about that man? He also had tattoos of daggers, it was? Daggers, the shape of the spectral that came out of his arms. It was very strange.
No, I've never seen anyone like that before. I've only really ever seen the magic that Maxwell does. And, other people around the city, I've never seen anything like that.
It's very different. Again, I am sorry about your father. I would like to ask you a little bit more about Maxwell.
Sure.
I didn't know that there were any of me left.
Any of what?
My people.
Oh.
He carried, and I'll show my amulet.
Yeah.
He carried this.
Oh.
Did he also have a gauntlet?
No.
Okay. Okay. Real scared.
No, he did not have a gauntlet, but he did have that.
He has been guarding me as long as I can remember. I remember him since I was at least 5 years old. Was always there when my father was busy with work. The other guy was my father's bodyguard, the bigger one, Bryce. But Maxwell used to sneak me out at night and show me portions of the city when my father was away. Used to keep it a secret. My father would not have liked it if I was out that late, as young as I was. I don't know if he was a good man, but he was my friend. Even in my older years,
when I went out with what few friends I have, Maxwell would be watching from the shadows, protecting me. My father's directive, of course.
Why did you need so much protection?
Well, there was a time when I was about 10 years old. I was approached by strange hooded men in the city when I was walking with Maxwell at night while my father was away. They tried to take our money and take me. Maxwell told me to close my eyes, and by the time it was over, the men were gone. But I recognized the muffled screams when my eyes were closed. I don't know what he did with them, but I didn't see them after that.
Do you remember if they had any sort of sigil on their hoods?
They had, funny enough, they wore the markings of the Gilded Mask.
Oh.
But this is before that other man came. The one with the mask.
Talking about Alistair?
That was his name, yes.
See.
This was before he came.
He changed things a lot?
Seems that way, yes. All the people with those markings and a lot of people in the city started working for him, and nobody bothered me anymore, but Maxwell was still there to keep me safe. He used to tell me stories of where he learned what he did. I talked about a teacher that he had in the elvish kingdom of Otasolor.
Okay.
I will also tell you that that Otasolor in Elvish means war home at Land's Edge.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? You said
war home at Land's Edge. And you would know from your talking that this is one of the two Elvish kingdoms to the northern side, right over the Mistlands.
Okay.
You have Yafauna and then Otasolor on top of it by the water.
Interesting.
Yeah, his teacher was taught by another. Talked about the skill having been passed down from teacher to student in secret from one that he didn't talk much about, but he called them the Arc Warrior. Supposedly some warlord of the Valinor Elves.
Is that familiar to me? It's not, right? Okay.
I will tell you the only connection that you would potentially make to that is that you have the pillars of your people being the Archbishop and the Archmage.
Right.
And the King. So the only similarity that you would make there is that he is telling you that it's Valinor and that it has Arc in it. But you've not heard that term before, no.
Interesting. Very interesting. I've not heard that word before. Arc Warrior? From my home we have an Archbishop, an Archmage, not an Arc Warrior. We have a King.
Oh, he said it was from long ago, and that person passed that skill down to someone else, and to someone else, and someone else, and then Maxwell's teacher, Valorah. Valorah. She took the last name Ohtar, Ohtar, which in Elvish means warrior or champion. The name was supposedly passed down from teacher to student. But he didn't take the name from his teacher. He didn't finish his schooling before he left to come here and protect me. Said that he didn't deserve the name.
Didn't deserve it. It's strange. I didn't think I'd see somebody else fight like me out here, and there he was.
Yeah.
I thank you for your help, Elias. The information truly is invaluable.
Of course.
Pat him on the hand. Now, I'll motion like this.
What are you trying to get him to do? Sorry.
Spread his hands apart.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just draw my blade. Attempt to break the chains.
Sure. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
And I'll give you advantage because you're striking something that's not moving.
Okay. So, 18.
Okay. And go ahead and roll your damage.
That's going to be 7.
Okay. So you lift your blade and bring it down. The two blades join together.
Yes, as one. Yep.
Crack through the blade, through the manacles. It shatters in the center, and he just separates his hands. Thank you.
Please do be careful. I don't think they'll keep you in prison or anything, but just in case.
Thank you. I don't think they will either. I'll tell them what I know, but I don't know what'll become of me after that. I don't really have anyone else.
Well, what your father did wasn't your fault. I'm sure they'll understand.
I think so.
Just be careful.
I will. Thank you, Ren. One other thing about Maxwell. I don't know why he left to come here, but I know it had to do with money. He said he needed a lot of it, and that he was looking for something to become more like his teacher. I don't know what that means, but he said that being here in Southport would help him.
Right. Become more like his teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Does he mean like an elf?
Maybe. He didn't specify, he didn't say, but I know that was his goal. I hope he finds peace in his death.
He will. I'll pat him on the shoulder and walk out of the captain's quarters.
Yep. You walk outside and you find Eudoro, Murdoch, and the two pirate boys.
Two pirate boys. So as I exit, what is it? Eudoro on the right, left?
Eudoro's on the right. Murdoch's like on the edge of the ship, just watching, so that way he can see everybody at once.
Yeah, I'll approach Eudoro.
Evening, young master.
Good evening. Believe I have some business still in your shop.
Sure.
Looking for some spells, not just plain paper this time.
Of course. I can certainly help with that.
Would be appreciated. Should I
Sure.
stop by tomorrow, or?
Yes, the morning would be great. I'd like to get an early start. It is a bit later than I usually go to sleep, but I'll be up by a little after sunrise. I usually take a morning walk.
No rush.
Thank you. I look forward to talking about magic with someone else that doesn't just want paper.
Of course. I'll pat him on the back. And I'll nod at Murdoch as I exit the ship, and I'll go down to the docks where Maxwell's body is.
Okay, sure.
I'll just give it a once over. If anything, I'd actually like to sketch the tattoos
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Just like a quick sketch.
Mhm.
I know I have some paper, probably somewhere on the map. Just just on the corner.
Yeah.
Just a little sketch.
What did I tell you those look like?
I don't remember.
Okay.
You told me that it looked like lightning.
I'll make a note to double check what that was. I'll have to re-listen because I don't remember.
Okay.
Lightning makes sense, but I'll have to double check.
Yeah. And the other thing that I would look, I would want to take his oh my god, what is it called?
Sword?
No,
Blade?
I already have the sword. The sheath.
Oh sure, yeah.
For the rapier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
want to take that.
Cool.
And I'll just put it around my sash and then properly sheath the rapier.
Okay. Very good.
Oh shit. After I fix that to myself, I'll kind of like, I'll literally just do that. I'll say, oh shit, and sigh. I'll turn back and yell up to Murdoch. Murdoch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you'd know this, but do you know the person that builds these ships here?
I know Fjordane purchases them from gnomes, artificers, and build most of the ships for Adoris.
Where are those gnomes located?
Out across the Mistlands, but gnomes and halflings anyway.
There's none here?
No, everybody purchases them from them, but Dudley's a artificer, isn't he? You might know.
Check with him.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wave.
Good evening.
And I'll head back to the inn.
Okay. As you're walking back, one of Sheila's men runs up to you and, "Oh, Master Ren. Oh, I wasn't sure where you're going." And he pulls out a sack. Your share of the gold. Sheila wanted to make sure I got it for you before the evening.
I'll take it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take it easy. No more running.
Yeah, thanks.
Is he like in full armor?
Yes. Yeah.
This is you didn't need to. She knows where I was staying.
Yeah. I just do what I'm told, you know.
just take it easy. I'll kind of pat him on the back. Don't think about puking. Definitely don't.
Yeah. No, thanks. I'm gonna go get some water, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
It's 400 gold.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
That's a lot of blood money, Don. We're at a gambling hall. Where's my 1K? 1K cut. I'll head back to the inn.
Very good. Can you send in Marcus and Dandelion? They're at the inn, so I'm going to have them role play for a minute and then have then switch with the other three that are doing something, and then they'll be heading back to the inn, and then we'll bring everybody back together and then split again for the individual shopping trips.
All right. Okay, you said Marcus and Dandelion.
Yes, please.
I'm going to use this super convenient door.
Eudoro.
This is a lot more convenient.
Yeah, I wish the cats wouldn't, be cats.
Invade.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yep.
I mean, we really just need to get a secure.
I know. I just don't know the best way to do it. I can't use a little.
We do magnets.
Mm-hmm.
Magnets might work.
I've definitely brought that up.
You probably
before.
have. But Midna's so strong. She'll fucking get it open. There's no amount of magnetism that will stop.
I mean, then
her.
the cats get in here. It's not.
No, there's so many things for them to eat.
And break.
Uh-huh. Just shatter my dreams.
Uh-huh.
So you guys make your way back through the city unabated to the Topaz Flask. Let me pull up Southport so I can remember the name of the tavern owner because I don't. It's like
Marcus, why are the stones purple?
Yeah. Thaldic Oakstone.
At the top of the building?
Yeah.
I guess I'll look up. Did you change them purple?
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember it being purple earlier.
I thought they were.
Maybe they were. It's strange that it's called the Topaz Flask, then. Oh well. I'm sure it's just another one of those curious things that happens sometimes in the world. You know? A lot of...
Like the holes in the ocean.
Yeah, there are a lot of mysteries that we have not yet solved. Like the purple topazes and the ocean holes. But I'm sure that we'll get to the bottom of them someday.
I don't want to get to the bottom of the holes in the ocean. I'd rather stay out of those.
Alright, we'll just stay above the hole and look down into it. This way we can see the hole. Understand the hole. Do we not want to understand the hole?
Some things are just mysteries.
That's fine. A mysterious hole.
You guys are standing outside.
Oh no, we would be having this conversation as we walk in.
Okay.
I'll just hold the door aloft as a mysterious hole brings out from me.
Yeah, a drunk man walks out. No one understands holes.
Quite right, sir. I'm just going to clap him on the back.
Good evening to you.
You too, sir.
Stumbles out into the night.
I hope someday you understand holes better. What did you say his name is?
Thaldic Oakstone.
That's right. The old Thaldic.
Yes, you walk in and you see the dwarven figure of Thaldic behind the tavern, helping the few very drunk patrons that are here at this past midnight hour. You can see his eyes are a little red due to it being late.
Evening, friends.
We'll be quick. Do you have anything left from the meals earlier, by chance? We're quite hungry.
Of course, take your time. I'm frequently up to probably 5 or 6, so this is still early yet. So take as much time as you need, please.
Very good. Dandelion, what would you like to eat?
Bread. No peppers.
Anything with the bread?
Soup?
We have soup? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
No peppers.
Okay. We have a vegetable stew and a fish stew.
Which would you prefer?
Vegetable.
I'll also have the vegetable. Thank
Sure.
you.
All right. There's a large table. I assume some of your friends will be joining you.
Very good. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
That
of course.
sounds
Drinks?
What would you like, Dandelion?
Tea?
Sure.
Yes, I'll also have tea. Thank you.
Sure. Herbal or floral?
Herbal.
Floral.
All right. Sure. Just be a moment.
Thank you.
Walks out of the kitchen, and you guys go ahead and take your seat and feel free to talk about whatever you'd like during that time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, no, while we're sitting, I would just kind of pull your chair out for you like usual, because it's a table with chairs. It's not like a big booth or anything.
So there is a booth along the one side,
Okay.
and then there's chairs along the other side. So
Yeah. I guess I'll just gesture at the table. Chair side or booth side, Dandelion?
Hop onto the booth.
Very good. Just
Are you sitting or are you like crouching?
Crouching for
Okay.
sure.
I
yeah.
figured, yeah.
gargoyle.
Also, I'm just very small.
Yeah, no, as I'm just, taking my seat across from you, I would just say, in the morning, I intend to, if Sheila permits, take back Alice Tull and hopefully Elias, and if all things go well with his interrogation, also Alistair. But that will mean that you will be here without me in Southport?
I'll have the others.
Yes.
I can do some shopping.
Yes, you can.
We have a lot of gold now.
Yes, we do. And you'll have Shimmer with you. Shimmer can help you look, and
I have to find the mirror too.
yes, you do. And I will only be gone a few days. But You will have the others to rely on.
I'm pretty strong too.
Yes, you are. Never forget that. Good.
Cool. Yeah, a few minutes go by and Thaldic walks out with, yeah, I really should have given him a different name. With 2 bowls of stew that is, steaming. It's fairly hot, and he sets it down on the table and slides the bowls towards you. Please be careful, it's very hot. And your 2 teas, herbal and floral.
Thank you.
Of course. Anything else you need?
Is there bread involved?
Yeah, sorry. There's a nice crusty loaf of bread that looks to be not freshly baked, but like freshly warmed.
I want that.
Same.
No, I think we're all right, Thaldic. Thank you.
All right. If you need anything else, I'll be right over there tending to my children.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course. Evening. Steps back behind the bar.
Does he have children?
No, he points at he gestures to the drunk,
drunks.
the very drunk patrons.
Marcus, are those his children?
No, I think he was being sarcastic and making a joke.
Pretty funny joke.
Yes, it is.
I don't think they're children.
No, they're grown people. But sometimes, when you know someone very well or you feel very close to them, it is just a thing that you do with making jokes. That's a thing that we can continue learning. And someday I will look forward to you being sarcastic.
I could probably do that.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe not.
It'll be fine. It takes time. But we've got a lot of time. I hope.
Not too much time. I gotta find the mirror
Yes, absolutely. And
before Titania finds out.
yes,
I don't know how long that will be.
I pray a while. But I do not know what things Titania has on her agenda and whether or not that mirror is something that she uses with any sense of consistency. Judging by the fact that you've been with me for several days now safely, doesn't seem like it was an everyday mirror, which is at least beneficial.
I think it's a pretty special mirror.
Every once in a, blue moon.
Look out the window.
Is the moon blue?
No.
Is it a Pac-Man?
Yeah.
What?
It's 2 days from here to
Lake
Mount. I was gonna say Southport. I was like, we're in Southport.
It's a little more than a day. So, 3 days there and back, and I intend to spend at least some time ensuring that my people are safe. I have to get their shelter situation under wraps and figure out whether or not our good friend Felix is capable of providing them, well, with at least some kind of opportunity for homes to be built inside of the town. I do not know how they manage the purchase of land. But at best, at worst, they still have Joseph, who will permit them shelter at least for some time. But there are many of them. And I do not want him to have to secede his entire tavern to sheltering my people for very long. He is a good man.
Will they need money?
Yes, I intended to give them what I have.
I'll give you half of my gold.
It'll be all right, Dandelion. The people there can work and can care for themselves. It is also something that I know that you are looking for the mirror, and there might be something that you need to purchase to be able to help you find the mirror. But I do appreciate the offer. And I will pay you back the gold that you have already given to me someday. However, the gold that I have just earned, I do need to use to make sure that my people have roofs over their heads.
Do they know how to build houses?
My people? Yes.
That's convenient.
Yes, we were proud people, very independent and kept to ourselves, and did all of the things that we needed to do of our own accord in our own ways. And that is something that I want to make sure that my people are able to keep safe inside of Lake Mount. So they will have, ideally, some young enough to be able to still gather wood from, oh well, it's Plimfair Bog now, not Plimfair Forest. Hopefully there will be some trees in there that are suitable. I imagine since Felix is a carpenter, there must be an area. They'll be able to help him gather wood.
There were a lot of trees in the bog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the bog needed all of those.
No, we can definitely borrow some trees.
Mm-hmm. Might want to ask it, though.
Yes, I will definitely make sure that we check in with the tree before we cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
I also was wondering if there is anything that you would want me to ask our old friend from inside of the cave, Harrowell. You touched the tree that she guarded.
Right.
And when we left, we were in a bit of a haste. And I do not know if there is a message that you are curious if she would be able to send. But if you're able to speak with Oberon whenever you need, as long as you find...
You have to find natural water.
Yes.
Like a pond or a lake.
Yes.
Not the ocean.
But I also do not know if there's anything you would like for me to ask her about the tree, or about her nature, or your own. She may know additional things.
I don't know much about my own nature.
That is fair. That is very fair. I will see if I can think of anything myself then on the road.
I don't know if she would know much about me.
I do not know.
Oberon found me.
Yes. Oberon found you.
Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
All right.
Now
Oh.
I need to find the mirror.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
And we will find the mirror together. I'm gonna start eating my soup.
Very good. So at this point, Rain is going to walk in, but I'm going to have you guys switch with the other three, and then they'll switch and bring the three of you back in, and then they'll join you. And we'll split again.
Just bounce back and forth.
Goodbye.
Cool. So you want the other non-Paul 3?
Yes, please.
Very good. Everybody but Paul.
Welcome to the Grimdar Mid-Show Podcast. Stealing this bit from Paul. Welcome back. One of the things that I forgot to mention regarding the translation is it's sort of a like triple blind, where those symbols translate to shorthand that you understand, that translates literally to that for the most part. It's not written like that.
It's an approximation of what
Correct.
it says.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You're good.
Yeah. So you guys finish covering up these two bodies with clown makeup and cloaks, and successfully lift them up the stairs, out of the gambling halls, and through the streets. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. There's not too much going on aside from the like very late nightlife of very drunk people that really pay you no mind as you're moving through the city streets. You make your way down to the docks and along behind the dock buildings over to the cooking ward of the city, and you find a clear area off to the side by the wall that is kind of like right along the edge out to where the sea is. There's a large open area with just kind of grass and stone. And you can see that there are people further off cooking things and laughing. They appear to be extremely drunk. Nobody's paid you any mind as you've made your way here.
Very good. Yeah, I would just try and find a spot that is out of the way enough that people would not necessarily make a fuss about.
Sure.
3 people just starting a little fire.
Yeah, you can see that there are groupings of people scattered around this open area. That another grouping of 3 people doing that would not draw anyone's eye.
Very good.
Just essentially blending in with the other people cooking and sitting around the fire drinking.
Right on. Somewhere around here.
Help wheel them over.
Yep.
And get these bodies somewhere where the flames won't spread.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, I'll say that you find an area of stone that's kind of like an open square area for people to put like chairs and things to sit, separate from like the grass and not near any of the buildings.
Maybe like a fire pit of sorts.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, based on the words in this note, that it would be best to dispose of Will's body in the same way. For certain.
Yep. Would nod. Slam him down.
Very good.
Look through my equipment.
Yes.
I've got a tinderbox.
That's good.
I'll pull out a tinderbox.
I do as well.
Okay. Yeah. So,
it's
Mr.
fine.
Mr.
We thought
Pigeon,
about this.
from your sleeves.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You whoop, just from out of the sleeves.
Yeah, and I get to doing what you do with the tinderbox. I think it looks like that.
Yep.
Do that.
Twig, are you doing anything in particular, or are you just kind of eyeballing the other 2?
I have a question.
Sure.
Shay, what is he? Like, until when I left the island, like, I have never seen anything.
One like this.
Yeah.
Yes. An elusive people. These, I'm afraid that I do not know the precise terminology, but...
I heard you calling him a creature.
This one, for sure.
So he's not like a person.
He was once, I believe. An unfortunate bit of business. These particular people sell their own young for this purpose, to be molded into instruments of death and infiltration. This one seemed particularly broken. I believe it had something to do with the Black Flower family that he mentioned. I think it would be best if I found some time to speak to Murdoch. He indicated that he knew this family.
Light him up.
Yes, please, Mr. Pigeon.
Tinderbox.
Yeah, you guys ignite the bodies and they both go up in flames and...
Tie a bully into his hand.
Yeah. Which one?
Not the creature.
So Will. Yeah, you tie a balloon to Will's hand as it just raises up and floats as his lifeless body lies on the ground and burns. And yeah, the flames slowly crawl up his arm towards this balloon as time goes on and you guys sit in the darkness and light of the moon.
Make sure that nobody is approaching.
Yeah, you see a few people in the distance like stumbling back towards the city proper, but nobody is paying you any mind.
Very good. As I was saying to Sheila, it would be best not to. I don't know that you'll have a problem, but I think it would be best that we not speak of this.
You do a little walk.
Certainly not in mixed company.
Agreed. Yeah.
Very dangerous bit of business. The missive that was on his person. I believe that he would have disposed of both men had he been given the chance. And possibly slipped away under the guise of one of them. I think perhaps that has something to do with why he had that mask. What will you do now that we've taken care of our business in the city? Are you still traveling with us to Goldview? Graymore.
Yeah. Probably stick with Mr. Pigeon. See what he's doing.
I would nod.
Very good. I don't suppose you know where is next for your guardianship?
No. I feel like I'm due for a little break. That's all I've been thinking about, so I like to focus on myself for a small bit of time.
Yes, perhaps we will have some downtime here in Southport. I think Marcus intends to return to Lakemount briefly, and I do not wish to return just yet.
Yeah, I would shrug along with that.
Yes, I think I will make the time for Murdoch tomorrow. Ensure that Sheila has whatever she needs to stave off this threat. I think she would be interested in the contents of this letter. It implied that she would be a valid target for impersonating. If it came to that, I am concerned for Alistair. I do not know that they will let him go easily. We'll have to let Marcus know. I'm just gonna stare off into space as these bodies burn.
Sure. Anything else from you two?
After I light it, I kneel down and wait for it to burn. I assume that takes a while.
Yeah, it certainly takes a bit of time.
But yeah, make sure it doesn't go out.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good. Yeah.
Yeah. But for simplicity's sake, we'll say that you are successful in the disposal of these two bodies, aside from the fact that there are bones.
Which I would gather.
Yeah. I will ask Twig, are you attempting to take any of the bones?
Are there teeth?
Yeah.
I'd like to take the teeth.
Sure. I will say that they've kind of popcorned a little bit.
Yeah.
Gross.
Are you taking all of the teeth?
All of them. As many as I can grab in my little
We need to know how many teeth there are.
How many? Let's find out.
Make sure you factor wisdom teeth. And if they've lost any.
Yeah, so I'll say that collectively there would be 64 teeth. You get about 30. You get about, sorry, not only 30. Jesus Christ. You get about 60 teeth. 60 popcorned human teeth.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I would gather these bones with the intent of disposing of them further.
Sure, absolutely.
I guess since this would be something that would probably take time throughout the watching while they're burning, I would take a knee and do a little night prayer.
Mm-hmm.
guess, trying to think of how I would mime. I would, at the mention of the letter and like other people impersonating, I guess I would like point at it and do like a try and mime at you. Like
Conceal.
you.
What are we?
Alligators.
Two men walk into a bar.
Someone got eaten by alligators.
I would start like looking through my things, and then I would grab your bag and look through your bag. Do you have? No, he got nothing.
Mr. Pigeon, this is a strange time for jokes.
Just a bunch of bones in here. It's not what I need. I guess like I would grab rope and like stretch it out like near my feet and like mime tripping over it.
Why are we tripping someone?
I shrug.
Who are we tripping?
I guess I would point at us, I guess, then. And point back at the letter and gesture again.
Is someone
Do I have...
coming for you? A pitfall?
I would point and...
Are we in danger?
Yep, that point.
We, you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that either of you would be in danger, no?
And then I would point at the note again. I guess I wouldn't be able to tell where, like, the names would be. But I guess I'd just, like, point at the note when you're saying the danger.
Alistair is the only one that I think I would be still worried about in regards to this. And any that speak too loudly of the things we have discussed. Obviously, if no one around understands, then perhaps nothing would come of it, but if their own people heard, it could be tragic. Fortunately, I think the only others are those amongst us, and I do not imagine that Ren or Marcus or Dandelion understand fully. I don't think they know enough to get themselves into trouble.
Sure, I would nod along. Makes sense.
And I think that Sheila is wise enough to refrain from speaking about this. Just need to dispose of these bones. I don't suppose either of you... are you hiding a mortar and pestle in those?
I'd go looking. Pull out a mace.
No,
Yeah, right back in.
not some sort of animal.
I have a hammer.
That's closer. I don't suppose any of your circus mates would be...
Have a blanket, throw the bones in.
These are options, yes, but I think
Yeah, blanket and a mace.
something more precise. Yes.
Nope, put it back.
If you could direct me to someone with a mortar and pestle, that would be greatly
I would
appreciated.
tell you that perhaps the candle maker might come to mind. I would guess is the one person that
Back
might.
at the circus?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the only person. So the two
It's
of
the
you would-
Dragonborn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the two of you would think of that as far as people that you're aware of that would probably have it.
You don't suppose he would be awake at this hour?
But I think, I don't know, do they party hard at night?
I mean, yeah, they're fun, but they definitely absolutely do.
Just go see a carny party?
Ever so briefly.
Sure.
We probably should not grind these there. I can
Sure. Not along.
take care of it this evening.
Yeah, no, I mean, we would know where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
yeah,
you would know
we
the
would know
of the
all.
Know where all the
fairgrounds.
best carny parties are.
Yeah, you guys are heading there.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So you guys make your way through the city with a bag full of bones over to the fairgrounds, where you can see the carnival has been set up. And you can see that in the center of like their tents in the back corner where they usually are located, You can see that there is a fire going, and you can see everybody, with the exception of Elena, sitting outside around this fire and drinking, as I would say was fairly common for the group of you.
I'd give a wave as we walk by. Keep an eye out for Cucumber.
Yes.
See what he's getting up to.
See if he can't sell me anything.
Yep, let me pull up the old fair NPCs. So you can see that Cucumber is sitting off on like a tree stump, sort of, that looks like it's been cleaned off and has a bit of silk draped over it with a little pillow on top. And he's sitting just slowly counting his coins and looking at items on the ground that he's collected. You guys walk over and he just like waves excitedly and chirps at you. Tips his little hat.
Hello, Cucumber. Appreciated the disc. Was very good.
He reaches down into his bag and pulls out another disc.
Does it do the same thing? Gladly. Make that exchange.
Yep, yeah, he hands you another disc.
Yes. Gonna feed that one to Ren.
He takes the coin and just like flips it in his hand and checks it a bunch and like bites at it and then slips it into his little pocket, tips his hat.
You are a saint. Truly.
Walk up to give him a pet. Give him a little ruffle.
Yeah, he removes his hat.
Yeah, give him a little ruffle. Hand him 5 gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he holds his hat out for you to do
5
that.
gold.
Yeah, he takes it, counts all of it, puts it in his pocket, tips his hat, puts it back on. He chitters excitedly as you do that.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm just here to say hi.
I don't suppose you, Cucumber, happen to have a mortar and pestle amongst your collected treasures.
He like looks for a minute and reaches through his bag. Pulls out like a really large stick and a bowl.
Not quite.
Pulls out a hammer.
They've suggested that. It's all right. Next time. Good.
I'd like to give him one of my biggest teeth. Just hand it over to him.
Yeah, he pulls out a gold and hands it to you.
Hand it back.
Puts it in his pocket and takes the tooth, then just kind of flips it over.
Hold my hand out. Just wait.
He goes digging through his bag. Pulls out a little wooden figurine of a frog. He pulls off his hat so you can pat his head again. He takes the tooth and, like, pokes a little string through one of the holes and just puts it around his neck and then puts the hat on.
Yeah, I mean, after that, I guess we would know. They probably use a similar layout most of the time when they can.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they're all sitting out around the fire.
Give a wave, but try to make our way toward. Is it Tarak? Tarak.
Tarak. Yeah,
Tarak.
you can see that he is he's sitting off himself, by himself. He doesn't sleep in like a full tent. It's kind of just like a rope draped between two things with some like bits of cloth tied between it to make like a much larger area that isn't 100% sealed. Like there's gaps between the between this like large tent. It's kind of like a, you know what I'm trying to.
You
get
said a
visually.
rope tied between two things. I just imagine him hanging upside down from the rope by his legs. So I'm not sure that I do know what you're talking about.
So kind of just like if you took a bunch of
like a ramshackle
yeah.
Not a tent, but like a
it's much bigger than a tent. It has just a bunch of blankets taped together.
A blanket fort.
Yeah, blanket fort, open air, that has the ability to put stuff over it if it's like raining or something. But just so he has like his own area, and you can see like small bits of smoke just floating up into the air in different shapes.
I'd lead the way on over.
Yep.
Very good.
Give him a curtsy when he sees us.
Evening, friends.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good to see all of you again.
Your friends seem to think that perhaps you might have a
a mortar and pestle that I could borrow?
Several.
Mime the motion.
Yes, I seem to have left mine back at the shop.
Of course, yes, I have several. I'd be glad to let you borrow one.
Yes, if you could part with one, I could compensate you.
No need. Sure, just a moment.
He stands and sets his pipe down on like a little wooden like pedestal that he has sitting on top of a rock. And you can see just like the smoke slowly, lazily drifting up into the air. And he slowly walks over to his belongings and slowly flips open a chest and goes through his things and pulls out a stone mortar and pestle and closes it, walks back over to you very slowly.
Here you are.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
And he sits back down on the tree stump and picks his pipe up again.
It's much better than a hammer and a blanket.
For
pretty much anything.
Yes, yeah.
I'd shrug.
Won't get much of a grind on herbs with a blanket and a hammer.
No, you certainly won't.
You'll rip the herbs and all the scent will come out.
Probably damage the blanket.
Yes.
That won't do.
No.
Very precise process. I appreciate your help.
Of course.
Yes. Well, I have some herb grinding to do. If you would excuse us.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful evening to you all.
You as well. Get some sleep. You sound very tired.
I'm just old. I'm slow.
Also tired.
Yes, it's late, but I do enjoy the night sky.
Very good.
He just blows a puff of a vaguely twig-shaped cat puff of smoke that just floats lazily up into the air.
All right. Well, we should return to our rooms.
Yep. Give him another bow.
Very good.
Yes, perhaps after we've returned, if you would not mind meeting with me as I do some of this grinding, I could learn some of your makeup techniques. I would say we could talk, but perhaps I could just talk at you.
Give a shrug.
Very good.
Very good. Anything else before you guys head back? All right. If you could switch and send the other three in, please.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Collusion.
Collusion.
You're right.
Good time.
Someday we'll win.
Glad you're splitting the sides. This is going to be great when we kill each other.
Thank God it'll happen when I'm not in town. We'll begin a new campaign.
The Marcus campaign.
The Marcus campaign.
Marcus Milford. At your service,
right?
man.
I offer a new service.
It's just Dog the Bounty Hunter, but
He's
it's
actually
Marcus.
just a roaming male prostitute.
Right?
I'm righteous.
Just flips the sunglasses down.
I'm a
AVAs,
righteous
obviously.
man. In a MILF sense. Within 60 feet, sir. Not behind total cover. I'm going to have to change my feature stuff. This conquest will be fulfilled.
No, it's Oath of Conquest still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. Oh my God, Don, I can lay on hands and just cure STDs.
Can you do that?
It doesn't specifically say STDs, but it says cure disease.
I wasn't sure if diseases
There
were
are diseases.
Don't worry, I'm a holy man. I've got the power of God and anime. Yeah, so as you guys are sitting eating, a few minutes after you start eating, Ren walks through the doors and you see your two friends sitting at a large table with a booth on one side and chairs on the other in the corner of the tavern. And you see the tavern keeper behind the bar just tending to a couple of like extraordinarily drunk patrons.
Are you embarrassed?
A little bit, yeah. Acting worse than the drunk patrons. I'll walk over.
Dandelion, are you still sitting how you were sitting before? So Dandelion is crouched like a goblin on the booth side.
Great. Except I'm smaller.
Eating some soup with bread.
Is that comfortable?
Actually, no, but Dandelion's fine.
I was genuinely asking Dandelion.
What do you mean?
Sitting like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
the seat is big.
There are a lot of things I just accept.
Yeah, that's...
I'll just sit like
Part of the job.
like a regular person. Like the table will come up to here.
I'm just gonna... Okay, I see the issue. We can get a booster seat in a tavern.
I have to have something made, I guess, for her.
You just cut a stool in half and then
True.
put it on the chair.
True.
That would be pretty convenient.
I'll have to have Felix make one when I'm back in Lake Mountain.
God, why did you have to name it Felix? Damn it.
Yeah, so as you guys are sitting, Thaldick walks over.
Master Rin, food, drink, can I get you anything?
Just a drink to go.
Sure, what would you like?
Your choice. Strong.
Understood. Yeah, just a moment.
He walks back over and comes back a few minutes later with a very tall, like mug frosted with like a brownish deep liquid in it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. I'll take a big drink and then reach in my bag and pull out the, I can't even say it because the name's so ridiculous.
Hold on. Smokebeard's beard smoker.
All right, so I'm going to inhale and blow it. What the hell's his name?
Thaldick.
Got it.
Yeah, bad name.
I'm going to blow it at him and give him a beard, even if he already has one. His beard will have a beard.
Yeah, so he has his beard, and then under that is another beard made of smoke.
Oh,
do you know where I can get anything for this?
What do you mean?
You know, little green.
Oh, yeah.
Pipeweed, sir. I think he's talking of pipeweed.
Sure.
Do you have druids?
We do, but Smokebeard does sell some. None of you don't work with well, I guess you do. Then it's fine. Yeah, Smokebeard will have some.
He's the hookup.
Yeah, tell him I sent you.
You guys aren't cops. Well, you are cops, but it's fine.
Technically, we're not.
Right?
Yeah,
just temporary cops.
Yeah. You're not cops, but you know the cops. So that's, yeah.
I won't tell.
Sure. Yeah, tell him I sent you. He'll hook you up with whatever you need.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Of course.
Just still staring at me.
Yeah, he's just
drinks great.
Stroking his
smoky beard.
Anything else for anyone? This thing's fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta get one of those.
I guess it'd probably be best to order for our friends in advance, just in case this way they can have a hot meal for when they get here.
Sure.
I'm imagining probably...
fish, milk, tea.
Double the milk for the clown.
Vegetable and tea, probably fish and tea.
All right, sure.
Yes, thank you.
And just fish, right? And tea and ale, probably.
Does she like milk?
She likes milk. Fish and milk.
Sure.
Thank you.
Fish and milk.
Double the milk for the clown.
Yes.
Milk, ale, and fish, and then vegetables and tea.
Yes.
Got it.
Thank you.
Sure. I'll be back in a few moments.
Of course.
Walks off back to the kitchen.
Yep.
You see one of the drunkards begin to fall over, and he just pushes him back to the tavern.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. Time for you to go home. Come on.
Just throws.
He just walks him out, and he just eats him out into the street very softly.
Does he appear behind him, like in The Simpsons?
That's how Misty Step.
Almost fell there.
Marty, how the hell did you...
And the guy just like tumbles out onto the road and stands up. Good evening. And just starts like slowly stumbling down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And he just closes the doors like a slight breeze comes in. One of my best patrons, if you believe that.
Seems fitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, food in a moment.
Yes.
Walks off.
Mm-hmm.
Take another big drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marcus, we
Yes.
need to talk about what happened.
Yes, I heard that Sheila executed him.
Yes.
Yes. What of it?
Does it sit well with you?
I mean, death never does, sadly. I know only of the customs of which I have been raised, and of my father's mind. And though I can see how it would be strange to have justice administered in a very cruel and harsh way, especially to a man in chains. I do not know. Sadly, the teachings of Tyr would have him put to trial, but we had witnessed him murder. We saw him kill Will, and had the intentions of killing Alistair and killing each of us. He nearly killed Twig. He nearly killed Dandelion. It does not seem wholly or in totality right. No. But I think that that was a man that was deemed guilty by Sheila, by the words of what I've heard Shay said.
He was dangerous too.
Yes. I think he could have been executed in a more formal manner, but I think that execution was the only fitting punishment for a man of his intention. However, this is Sheila's city, and she has been doing this for many years, and as a person that I believe is scarred by all the loss of men, not just today, but over the years, I think that that is a heavy weight on someone's mind and on their soul. And if it seems wrong to you to have executed the man that way, I think that that is a fine position for you to hold. But I do think that that man deserved to die. For the life of Will, for the life he wanted to take in Alistair, and I believe he probably would have also killed the Tull girl. And any of us. He seemed heartless and strangely empty of any sense of humanity. I do not know if it is a mercy to put someone like that to rest, as harsh as it may seem. Death will never sit well with me, though. I do not want it to.
I'll just let out a long sigh. Down the drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of slam it on the table a little bit, even though I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like the weight of my hand.
Sure.
Isn't just about death. It's about the way in which we die. You can call it justice. I don't see it that way.
I understand. I do agree that it matters the way in which we die. How would you have done it?
How would I have done it?
Yes.
I don't bear that type of responsibility. I don't know.
I think that that is a question that we should all then consider. Do we actually bear the responsibility? We have fought together and killed together. Murdoch's men, the men in the cave, The ones that have surrendered to me, I have tried to make sure that they have been granted an opportunity to atone. And I believe that that is just.
It is.
I do not think that man would ever have wanted to atone. And I do not know if that makes it just. But I fear what would have happened if we put that man in just a jail cell. You saw the way he moved in that fight. I do not know if he could have done that to get out and killed again. It is a decision that will always weigh heavily. And even if it is not a perfect decision, in life you must make decisions that sometimes feel as though they are what need to be done. And I do not like it. Not one bit. And I do not want any of us to like it. I don't want it to feel okay just because it needs to be done. I think that would make us callous and heartless, like that man was. I think it should hurt to do it, and I could tell that Sheila was hurt by it as well. But I think as a keeper of peace in this city, sometimes you must do things that put your own sense of who you are at risk. In the same way we risk our lives to do what we've done. But I would love to better understand justice. If we can.
Very interesting perspective on it.
Well, I grew up watching my father try to persuade bandits away from my people for years. Many times it worked, and many times he had to make concessions of grain, of timber. And he always did whatever he could to keep people safe. And there were many days when bandits arrived, and they were not willing to barter. They simply made demands. And my father, unwillingly, protected my people, in the same way that I think Sheila was considering it a protection of hers. Some men are, I guess, already dead. And that feels cruel. And it was something my mother never wanted me to witness. But my father told me it was important to understand that when someone makes a decision that risks their life, they have now accepted the responsibility of the chance of losing it. And I do not know if that man was even living. I don't know what that man was. I've seen bandits fight with cruelty and malice, but with a purpose to provide out of some sense of self-preservation. That man seemed to kill because he wanted to. And I think that scares me more.
I see. If you'll excuse me.
I understand.
Very tired.
Yes.
Leave the table and go to my room.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Are you going to... I'll message you.
Okay.
Can you send the other three in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thinking about bread.
Mm-hmm. No, you didn't. How's the soup, dandelion?
It's good. No peppers in it.
Good.
Plenty of mushrooms.
Very good.
Just pull out one of the mushrooms from my bag and look at it. Put it back in my bag.
Probably not best for the soup.
Not the soup.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sit for probably about another 15-20 minutes.
Sure.
You guys walk into the tavern. It's now probably about 2:30 a.m. And you see one patron remaining, very drunk, sitting at the tavern, at the bar rather. And you see your friends sitting over at a large, long table with a bench on one side and chairs on the other.
Hello? Dandelion? Fergus?
Yes. Thaldic is preparing food and drinks.
That's good.
I'll look over at him.
Should probably eat.
Thank you.
He, 2 minutes later, walks out with fish and milk and ale, 2 glasses of milk and ale, and fish and vegetables. And
The usual.
Vegetable stew, tea, and a stiff drink.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Of course.
Tried to do our best to order what we thought you guys would enjoy.
I hope you told them the usual.
Yes, I did.
That is good.
Yes.
As it should be.
Yes.
As it should be.
Need anything else, please let me know.
Will do.
Steps off.
Well, I guess you guys should eat.
Yes, and I have a little bit more disposal to take care of before turning in for the evening.
All right.
You are going to return to Lakemount?
Yes, with Alice in the morning. And ideally Elias, and if by some stretch it is within sight of Sheila's mercy, Alistair as well. Try to reunite 2 families and try to take Alice to Val and teach him better ways to live.
Very good. Do you think that Alistair will be safe in Lakemount?
I think so.
We could make him a clown.
I don't know that he will want to be a clown forever.
I'd just be nodding.
More of a profession than a disguise, I think.
No, I think that he'll be alright. There's Nolan is there, and, well, I don't know how many people know that he's alive and has escaped.
I am simply concerned that those that know that he is alive are not keen to see him stay that way outside of their employ.
Certainly.
Found a missive on the assassin. Not that it will do you much good in this code, but
yes,
his directive was to dispose of both men should they try to leave.
Makes sense.
And I don't know that if they have reach as far as the assassin implied, that they will not be able to discover that he is still alive when he returns home.
Yes, it is possible that there is somebody inside of Lakemount who could inform them. They knew that he was there and found him.
If he is able to go with you, you should speak to him on the matter.
I do not know where is safe, though.
Perhaps he can think of somewhere. He has been doing this for a while.
Yes, there could be some kind of hiding place, but...
Could we make it seem like he died? Again?
I mean... It is something that I still... Well...
He's done it once.
Certainly. Will did. Maybe Alistair could follow in his footsteps?
That was how he got out of Lakemount, yes? Taken by
Alistair
the
with their stream, yes.
I don't think that his family would be keen on the ruse.
No, and I think Alistair simply deserves the chance to live in peace. And I think the people of Lakemount will keep him safe.
Very well. What will you do with your time in Southport?
I have to look for the mirror.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
More secret compartments.
Did the missive say who it was from?
Not directly, no.
Alright.
I can write up a translation for you, if you'd like.
Thank you.
Very good.
What language is it in?
It's not so much a language as a code.
Mm.
Like a secret compartment, but in written form. I'm gonna start eating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess once they're done talking, I would remove that portrait from my sleeve of Elias and slide it across to Marcus.
Yeah.
Slide it across.
Will's room? Understood.
Were the other documents that I found on the assassin coded in the same way, or were they?
They were. The pictures obviously not, but yeah, the rest of it was coded in the same way. Yeah. Yeah, nothing on there that pretty much you don't already know generally.
Rin stopped by. He seems very perturbed by the death and thinks it was not just.
I am not surprised that he does not understand. He did not stick around for an explanation.
Yes, I did my best to explain the perspective and weight of the responsibility of a lawkeeper to him. He still seems quite bothered.
Maybe it's because he doesn't understand the handshake.
Perhaps.
I would nod.
That certainly has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he will come around?
I do not know. I hope. I think that he is a good man and does not understand that there is terrible cruelty and wickedness that can lay in the hearts of men. I do not know if he has simply never seen it firsthand, but it is something that I grew up watching.
Yes.
And something that I think that will weigh heavily on him continually. He has fought willingly in the battles, but he seems particularly bothered by the execution. And I do not know if that is something that he has witnessed firsthand and is scarred by, but I think that we will have to tread softly when it comes to conversations of that matter.
Understood.
This Fivral black flower.
Who? He is a dangerous man.
Understood.
Particularly dangerous man. I am fairly certain that a Murdoch would know more.
I will talk to Murdoch then.
Needless to say, he is someone that you should not speak too openly about.
Understood.
Same with the nature of that assassin.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Would be a shame for the others like him to discover that any word had gotten out.
Yes. No, that is something that we can easily avoid.
What did they do with him?
With the body burnt. As it should be.
Yes.
Let me work on this translation.
Thank you.
find something to write with and
Sure.
start drafting up this first.
Yeah. You're good.
I'm gonna see if I can find desserts while we're.
Sure. You walk over to the bar.
Can I get you anything else?
Do you have anything sweet?
Sure. Cakes and pies?
Yes, please.
Sure. Just one of each?
Yes.
Sure.
Walks into the kitchen, comes back a few seconds later with a cake, a pie, and several small plates and utensils.
I will take them in my hands.
Mm-hmm. I'll walk some of this stuff over as well. Walks over and sets down a cake and a pie in front of you and slides it across the table.
I would shelter what I'm doing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Walks back over.
Cake.
It's pretty good.
Dip a small piece of the cake in one of my 2 cups of milk.
It is an approximation.
Thank you.
Code does not translate directly, but the meaning is clear. The other documents mentioned are present. Should you like to see them? Similarly coded, I'm afraid.
Gotta stop having tavern episodes when I don't eat beforehand.
Just hungry.
Soup? That sounds good. Cake? Yeah. Bread?
It's a recipe for going to Wawa afterwards and just buying 5 of everything.
I'm just disappointed by all of it. It'd be great.
See what I mean?
Yes. It is strange that they needed both of them.
Perhaps just their history. Men that are easy to manipulate.
Possibly.
But too close to the source. I imagine that Alistair knows more than he should.
Yes. If they want him dead, though,
they would find a way.
yes. Yes, they would.
Let me think on it this evening. Perhaps he could utilize the nature of this assassin to his advantage. If he can publicly behave a little less like himself, I think I could coach him on what to say should someone come looking.
Possibly.
I have to hope that they did not have other eyes nearby.
Yes.
There were very few people in that room, though. And I do not believe that Sheila is a danger.
No, neither do I.
And that hulking man, I don't think he'll talk.
Neither do I.
Man of few words.
He did blink a lot.
He did.
Maybe a code?
Did you write down how many times and the frequency?
No.
Do you recall how many times and the frequency?
Do I recall how many times and the frequency of blinks?
Make a history check.
It's a flat 6.
Look like a bunch of blanks.
It was a lot.
It would be hard to say.
At least 4?
Well, there is no code that I know of that is only 4 blinks.
I think it was more than 4 blinks.
At least 25 blinks.
You have no recollection of whether or not it was that many.
It might have been.
Think on it some more.
Steam.
It will come back to you, I'm sure.
I don't think it will.
I believe in you. I guess I would just like translate pieces of the other documentation.
Sure.
And just as to demonstrate.
Yep.
For Marcus.
Yeah, the stuff.
If you want to tell him.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just say in general. The stuff on the other documents was essentially just dossiers of Alistair, Will, Sheila, and some random like shopkeepers and dock workers, as well as one for the overseer. Just height, weight. There's a sketch of them.
Sure.
Some general things that you guys pretty much already know generally about them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard the word dossier.
Yep.
Unfamiliar. Need to watch more cop shows or something.
Mm-hmm.
A dangerous tool.
Yes.
And this one was sharpened beyond the point of saving.
Yes.
That is why I suggested that Sheila dispose of him.
Yes.
There will be others, I am sure.
We will have to be on the lookout for them.
It will be difficult.
Yes.
What time is the hearing in the morning?
I do not know.
We'll leave after.
Yes.
I should gather my things and finish what I started earlier. Mr. Pigeon, whenever you have time. And I would gather my stuff and I would gather the translations of those documents.
Sure.
And take them with me.
Yep.
And I would go to my room.
Very good.
Now I can bounce out of here if you'd like.
Cool. Anybody else doing anything else? Or are you...
No, I think I'd finish eating.
Where's the dog?
I'd finish up eating.
Where's the dog?
My dog?
Yeah, the
If
puppy.
they're not doing anything else, then I'm gonna end up with him.
Still with
I can also
Sheila.
say whatever your preference is.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody else doing anything else? Or you
No,
just
no, no.
finished?
I would
Okay.
finish eating and go to bed.
Okay.
Tired.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to do anything before they go to sleep?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll bounce everybody and send Paul in, and then
Send Paul
bounce the
in,
two of
and
you
then-
back in.
Yep.
Good night, Octane.
Good night, Octane.
Good night.
Okay. When I push the lights, I'll just have you come in.
You don't have to just tiny
Alright.
me.
Okay.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Because it's just
you and me.
Oh,
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so you are roll initiative.
Yeah. It's bad. It's real bad. It's a 7.
Well, can't be worse than a nat 1 though.
Okay, all right. Well, I win.
So you have advantage on the assassin waiting in your bed. Not in your room, in your bed.
Oh, great.
Under the sheets.
Oh no.
Yeah, so you walk up the stairs back to your room. Nobody else in the halls this late. It's now about like 1:30 at this point.
Woo.
You make your way back into your room. You have all of your things, and you said you're pulling out the stuff that you found with Maxwell.
Yes.
And you're pulling out the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so remind me of the things you found on Maxwell. You had the pendant.
The pendant, the rapier, and I guess the sheath. Those are the 3 things that I
Sure. Cool. Yeah, so the pendant, I will tell you, looks to be nearly identical in nature to yours, in the sense that the material looks to be the same. Obviously, each of them is a little unique, same as the other one that you have from Arthur, where it looks to be same material, same construction, but still unique in like the shape of it. It doesn't look to be like a fake or anything. It looks similar to the ones that you have. If you like how you can feel like the difference between in real life, like something that is made with good plastic and cheap plastic, how you have that like weird feeling on it. You don't get anything like that with this. This feels
it's genuine.
This seems to be genuine. The material seems to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The rapier appears to be of elven construction from what you've come to know from obviously living in the Kingdom of Valinor. It does not look to be made from necessarily the exact same metals that your people used, but the construction of the blade seems more or less consistent with, at the very least, the style of weapon that your people use, that some of your warriors or warrior trainers would have used. I would say the older warrior trainers, like some of the older elves that did combat training, would have used this style of rapier more than like more modern ones.
On either the pendant or the rapier, do I see any like initials or a name, anything like that?
Yeah, so I'll say on the pendant, you do see the initials MT, like lightly carved. As you're inspecting it, you can see that there's like a loose part on the leather banding that wraps around the like center of the little horn thing. You can see it like it peels back ever so slightly, and then you can see scratched into this like blue stone the initials MT, which is, seems to be consistent with at the very least his name. The rapier does not have any initials on it. It looks to be newer in construction in the sense of the metal, where it doesn't seem, you know how older like metals get that kind of like slightly clouded thing if they're not like upkept really well. Yeah. This doesn't look like that. This looks newer. The only thing that looks older is the physical style of the construction, but the metal itself looks new. So if this were made in your kingdom, you would be surprised because you hadn't really seen that style.
Right.
But it doesn't look like it's like an older weapon or anything other than the style. So a copy or somebody that knows that weaponry either instructed somebody how to craft it or crafted it, but it's not like an old one.
Okay.
The sheath is a like black leather with iron bands that wrap around the length of it that kind of like almost snake down it, kind of like a cyclone.
Okay.
Along the entire thing, stretching all the way down to the bottom, where it starts similar to a cyclone, fatter at the top and thinner at the bottom. So it just as if you literally took like a snake and stretched it out, which is a terrible visual, but that's kind of what that looks like with the iron banding. And there doesn't seem to be any like markings or anything on it. Just this very smooth banding that wraps around the entire length of it, kind of keeping the shape of the leather intact.
Gotcha.
Yep. But that's also very well kept and does seem newer as far as construction. It's not like chipping or flaking or anything on the leather.
Right. And I know I've already looked at the coin, but I'll just have it out as well, kind of like fidgeting with it as I'm looking at these things.
Sure. So as you fidget with these things, with the coin, as you're looking at these things, I'd say that your hand kind of instinctively finds its way along the markings that are scratched into this bent part of the coin, because that's kind of where your finger would just naturally go into these dips. And the markings, they don't look like they were... It doesn't look like a blade did this. They're very kind of jagged and rough. As a hunter, I would say that you would associate this with some sort of claw.
Well, like...
Would you consider talon?
Are they kind of like scratches, or...?
Yeah, it's kind of like... so the coin looks like it was scratched and then bent in half. But it doesn't look to have been done by a blade. It looks more like a claw. But they do look to be fairly large scratches. It's pretty much the entire center surface area of the coin. There's only a little bit of gold in between each of these scratches left, and then the outer ring. So it's
Gotcha.
Mostly, scratches. It's just like banding, scratch, and then little bits of gold in between the scratches. So something fairly sizable scraped this coin.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, after looking at these things for probably like another half hour, just kind of thinking to myself, put everything to the side and climb into bed.
Sure. As you climb into bed and you lay down, you see like a small flash of light by the window, and you see a very tiny, like shimmery dandelion just peeking in.
I'll look over. Wave.
It just kind of dances. It doesn't seem to notice that you're there. I'll say.
Is it dandelion or is it an image?
So I would say that you would associate this with the other things the other tricks that she has played on you, having this like slightly shimmery spectral outline that she has made a small version of herself instead of like a bat or something this time. Yeah, it's just a small her. But it doesn't look like the her when she was like a pixie. It's just if you literally just squished her down, just peeking through the window, just kind of dancing.
I'll just, as I get up from bed, yawning, I'll just pull those drapes closed. And as I go back to bed, I will, I would have put the amulet from Maxwell on the nightstand. I will take the other amulet out of my bag.
Arthur's or your own?
Mine is already on me.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Mine's on me, so
sure.
Arthur's.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of briefly compare all three, and then just put all of them on.
Sure.
And just lie in bed.
Sure. You feel a power wash over you. You turn green and get really big.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I'm liking where this is going. It's radiation. Let's go. I survived. My last name's Banner.
You're the smart Hulk too.
It's that muscles.
You just sit there, eat a bunch of eggs.
Listen to your mom.
No, but as you put those on, I'll say that a sort of comfort kind of washes over you in the dark. You hear the kind of like crackling of people making noise in the city far off despite the late hour. Just, some general people shouting in the streets and like the pop of flames from people. Just, you can see from the window, you can see that there are people that have like campfires nearby. You can just hear like the pop as imperfections in the wood kind of pops and sparks into the night. Just kind of lightly illuminating amongst the stars as the moonlight just from the Pac-Man moon just kind of cascades through the window.
The window that I closed?
Don,
no! Help! I get bed sheets.
So it's not a lot of light. I guess if you drew the curtains, it's just a little light filtering through like the
square
little
moon
beam
that
in the
I've
center.
known my whole life. It's definitely normal.
Just like a little bit of moonlight filters in. The room otherwise is very dark. Just that very small bit of brightness. And the pops of flames from like under the bottom of the curtains from down below.
Right.
And you feel very relaxed and comforted by the presence of these things as they kind of just don't put like a weight on your chest. It's not like, the fucking One Ring where Frodo feels it like dragging him down. It's just, you feel like a weighted blanket.
Very nice.
The comfort of that as you fall asleep with the symbols of your people around your neck.
Yep.
Cool.
Dreamtown.
Dreamtown, straight to Dreamtown.
Yep.
And
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. If you can send in Mr. Pigeon and Shay, and this won't happen this episode, but are you going to go to the interrogation of Alistair and the other people that were arrested, or are you going shopping immediately in the morning?
I would go shopping in
Okay.
the morning.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
You said Shay and Mr. Pigeon?
Shay and Mr. Pigeon, yep.
Oh no! Oh goodness! No, Smaug! Nice try! Shay and Mr. Pigeon, you're on deck. Don't come this way.
Came in this way to dodge smack.
Oh,
all the cats, really.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So, you make your way up to your room, and I'll say probably about 10-15 minutes later after you've finished eating, you hear a knock at your door.
I would have burnt the translations of that stuff.
Cool.
And then started grinding these bones.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very good. Yeah, yeah, as Mr. Pigeon, you walk down the hall, you hear a very slight, like, of something being ground.
When he knocks, you may enter.
Sure. I'll open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And close it behind me quietly.
Mm-hmm.
You can
give a look around and
lock the door if that would be more comfortable for you. And pass the key to him.
Yep.
Give it a lock and look around the room and walk over to where the work's happening, assuming nothing looks out of place. There's no one else in here, right?
No.
Okay. Who's that I see?
Yeah, no, nobody that you see. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a pretty small room. You'd be surprised if you found anybody. I did tell Paul there was an assassin in his bed.
In terms of volume level, where is my room in relation to other people?
Would you have asked for like a corner room?
Probably.
Yeah.
I probably would have tried to be a little more out of the way.
Yeah. So we'll say that you're at the corner by the far side of the hall. It's not a really long building, but I would say that you're at the edge. So the other side of the wall from you would be outside.
I wanted to ask if you would care to enlighten me on what it was you wanted to speak with Murdoch on. I think that perhaps I could speak on your behalf.
I would speak quietly, like a little strained. I guess not strained, but between a whisper and
grinding bones.
As somebody that doesn't use their voice.
Yes, I was gonna say,
raspy.
It would sound a little, it's out of use. And say, well, I desperately need to find Fivrel. Fivrel must die.
I think that would likely be best for the world as a whole. It seems that he is still up to what he was when I last saw him.
It certainly appears that way. And so I'd glance around and say I intended to speak with Murdoch myself and give like a bit of a grin, and it would be great to not have to risk this life I've made.
Yes, I thought you might be so inclined to have the burden of that conversation shifted to one who can speak more plainly. You need to find Fivrel.
Yes, and I don't suspect Murdoch would be helping him. It didn't sound that way, but I would be a little anxious about any information he willingly gives. I tend to find people speak a bit more plainly under duress, but I don't know that he needs that anymore. I'm still a little concerned about whether we can trust him or not.
There is a chance that if I let slip about this assassin, that he may have heard at least tales of such beings. He might be inclined to speak more plainly if he is concerned that his life is in danger from one that is not amongst his friends.
That might be good. Little motivation never hurt.
Yes. I think we can get it out of him if it is there. And if not, we can spare him pain that might have come should you have had to ask yourself.
You give a little bit of a chuckle and say, well, he doesn't actually have black flower blood, so as far as I'm concerned, if he is helpful, that's all I need from him.
What did the black flowers do to earn such ire?
That is a bit of a long tale, and still...
I have quite a few bones to grind.
Still a bit too fresh and private, but in good time, I will tell you.
Understood.
If Murdoch seems a little hesitant to share information, you could tell him perhaps that you are afraid that he may be hunted. And I suspect he may know what that means.
Haunted?
Maybe pretend that was in the code.
I don't suppose there's a name associated with this hunter he should be concerned with.
Not to my knowledge.
Something you've been doing for a while, then?
Oh, not me. I would never.
Of course not. Neither would I.
Give a little chuckle.
Neither would I. Although, I was once like that.
Like the assassin from earlier?
Yes. Fortunately not so broken before I was able to get away.
When left unbroken, it seems like a skill or a gift more so than a curse or a trauma.
I think it is perhaps a little of both. Unfortunately, there is a part of me that I still do not allow to see the light of day. One more like that than not. This face is a worthy mask for the time being.
I can appreciate a worthy disguise.
Yes.
Sometimes it's good to keep the rage and the bad parts inside, and sometimes they are a gift that needs to be let out. From my experience, though, a clear mind is the best judge of when to use those, and that does not seem like the case with that assassin.
It's a fitting perspective. There is a delicate balance to this world that should be upheld, and I do not think those like him would be able to uphold it. Sometimes bad needs to be removed. Sometimes good. Sometimes bad needs to be put in. Sometimes good. That tool did not make those decisions. And Fivril Blackflower is not a man that I would be inclined to let make such decisions.
I kind of grind my teeth, and Fivril Blackflower will be at his best when he's no longer making any decisions.
Yes. A worthy goal, and one I would like to see done. If he continues to extend his reach, I fear that the balance would be thrown off. I did not have it in me to do so when I left, but I think it may be time.
It certainly is. Been my time for years. This one will feel good. And you didn't mention? Did I see the translation or the names, or did you translate the dossier yet?
I had translated them. I could tell you what they say if you're curious.
Sure. I just meant like, I guess if I didn't see them yet, I would ask if I could look them over. At the list of names, and I would.
I burned the translation. Actually, I can tell you what was in the missive and the dossiers.
That'd be great.
It's something to the effect of, your task is to watch over both William Bennett and Alistair Plimfair, and their presence in Southport is imperative to the success of our mission. The two of them both have things at stake that they are not willing to risk, but should either of them step out of line, remove them from their positions and dispose of them. Should this happen, as always, be sure that they are never found. They are cogs in the machine, but ones that we at this moment require. They can be replaced at a cost. Use the other members of the Gilded Mask to give your updates under the guise of Horace Watts, the Overseer, on the behaviors and doings of William and Alistair, to keep yourself up to date. Should you need to impersonate either of them, do so. Included are dossiers on both William and Alistair, along with several shopkeepers and dock workers, and the lawkeeper, should you need to get yourself out of trouble. Failure is not an option.
I would point at the name of Horace and say, we've heard of Horace. Horace might be a worthy mask. That might be a way to get close to Fivril.
I'm going to flip through these dossiers and see if I can find this face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give you a description. But
I don't suppose it's a person that we've happened to see in person?
No.
Okay.
I think Murdoch mentioned him.
He did.
If I remember right.
Yeah, he mentioned him by that title.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he did not describe what he looks like, nor have you seen him. But he was described as the contact between the Gilded Mask and the Shadowed Thorns.
I am hesitant to wear the face of one that is not a part of myself. Not something that all of us are so willing to forego, but
that's quite all right. I have no problem doing it when the time comes.
That is good. This dossier I can translate for you. You, I think, could keep it well hidden.
I sure could.
And I will translate that one and give it to him.
Very good.
And I would, I guess I'd want to look at the original too and just study the original.
Yeah, I mean, I can describe for you the.
Yeah, I just want to see
the code and what I'm doing and how that works.
I want to see the handwriting on the original for myself, so that I know what it looked like.
Sure.
If it comes to it, and you do need one to take up a mask to get closer, I could probably manage if it had to be done that way.
If it had to, I have no problem with it. And I also have a set of skills with ink as well. Given these examples, I could probably copy this handwriting if you can direct me in the coding. I don't know if we'll need to, but in the event that we do, I might be able to make a convincing copy of a note.
I think that I could teach you on the matter, and perhaps with time you will be more willing to speak on your time.
In time, I think I will probably have to, although when Fivrel dies, I might not need Mr. Pigeon any longer. We'll have to see when the time comes what I uncover about Fivrel.
Understood. Understood.
Some things are done for the benefit of others, and some things are very personal. When Fivrel is gone, my personal obligation is done. We'll see how driven I feel after that.
I do not know that that is the end to the balancing that I am to be a part of, but it is certainly a step in the right direction. If you do decide that you need the knife, I think I could summon her at least once more.
Need the knife?
A mask for a different time. A tool, yes.
That sounds helpful. I would like to make clear I intend to take Fivrel's life, and I hope that doesn't harm your goal of balancing. But I have a long overdue duty to take that particular life.
If that life can be taken without needing the knife's presence, all the better for it.
Get like a vacant stare and keep grinding these bones.
Sure.
If I don't think I have anything else of concern right now. You seem to have a good grasp of the situation with the note, and other than potentially listening to the Murdoch conversation myself for my own curiosity, I don't really feel any need to get in the way of that. I think you'll handle it perfectly fine. You think you'll be able to gauge any dishonesty?
I think that I would be able to gauge it, yes, and if it is a conversation you would care to be present for, I can casually bring it up in your presence.
If I could be there to hear, that would be great, in case I spot something that makes me think of a different line of questioning. But otherwise, I do intend to passively just listen.
Ask for his assistance with some errands tomorrow. And you can join us.
Sure, that sounds
I'm
great.
certain he will say yes. Yeah. With Marcus out of town.
I will maintain my normal Mr. Pigeon best. Hopefully I will not need to say a word. I would just like to listen.
The world's most helpful clown.
Most professional clown.
The most professional clown. Indeed. Thank you for your time, Mr. Pigeon.
Give a little bow and say that I will see you in the morning.
Yes.
Very good. You're going back to go to sleep?
Yep.
And you're just going to finish grinding the bones and then also go to sleep?
Yep.
Cool. And that is where we will end it. Let me call you and say goodbye.
Look at her She's like,
Oh.
Midna saw me open the door.
Really?
I was very torn of which way to go.
Right? Too many options.
Yeah, that's the end. I just wanted to call everybody get back in. So
Let's go.
yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We will not be live on Sunday because Sarah and I have plans. So we'll be back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the City of Oshwamp, and then next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the next episode of The Lost Kings of Adoris. Also on Thursday night on the Not Great Dawn channel, myself, Sarah, John, Luna, and Levi are going to be, well, Sarah and I are going to be playing Danganronpa 3, and the 5 of us are going to be voice acting the game. We all have assigned characters, and I'm sure that'll be grand. You know how I get with voices, so it's going to be a good time.
Hello there, Dandelion.
Hello there, Dandelion.
Should have kept it.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.